focusing more on the business side of it, right? Like, I know you said earlier that business was slow. Is that because of the pandemic or like other reasons?
Business is slow because of the pandemic. Business is slow because in my industry in fashion, it has been crashing kind of tumultuously for the last 4 to 6 years, and that's because of supply chain issues with China in the pandemic, and then before that it was because of or before and after that is because of trying to streamline processes that used to be more expensive. So if you go to Macy's.com and there's a white grid of all the clothing and it's all on a white background, I used to shoot half of that stuff, or not half, a bunch of that stuff. And that was a great job, and there was a decent day rate, and it was 5 days a week, and it wasn't a day job, but they'd book me for 5 days a week, and that was a good paycheck. And then 3 weeks I would just do whatever else. And now they have robots that do that, literally robots. Yeah. And Amazon has that, and
robots, other like literally robots with the.
Yeah, I mean they don't look like androids, but they're these. They're not like okay.
They got iRobot. They just.
Yeah, right.
What was that robot? Sunny? Looking like
Smile,
Sunny?
Baby. Smile for the camera.
I took Matt's job.
Yeah. I'm like,
these robots taking my job.
I know. Right. I feel like there was a movie about that or whatever. It's like a Futurama episode with Bender. And anyway, they have these machines where the model stands inside. It's like a box with 4 strip lights, 4 fluorescent tubes. So they're evenly lit. Wow. And the art director, who's the person that decides essentially if the clothing is fitting right, if it's brand appropriate, whatever, they have an iPad that's mirroring, it's kind of like live streaming. They can see what's up there, and then they'll just press a button and it'll kind of jump it to video still, and then up to India, and then India or Bangladesh will do their retouching because they're a big retouching market right now and very affordable, and they will bend over backwards for you, and then it'll come back retouched, and that's that. And there's no photographer anymore.
Damn. How long that take?
Oh, no time. I mean, they can't shoot as many looks per day because the machines aren't real people, so they're not as good. But they're saving so much money on photographers. Yeah. Why would? So I can't hate on it. It's a smart business decision. Mm-hmm. Right. So then you have to future-proof yourself and say, where will I be in 10 years that people will still want to interact with a human and not a robot? Okay. It's understandable people will want to interact with robots if it's cheaper. As long as the product's okay.
That's fucking scary.
It's scary, and it took me a long time. I had to literally grieve the fact that my industry was changing, and I think you were mentioning this. Unless you have a ton of capital, unless you have rich parents or whatever, somebody that's going to give you a ton of money, you can't just weather this storm without shifting your business, and it's hard to shift your business.
I mean, you got to buy those robots and rent them out.
I mean, dude,
those robots.
I mean, you gotta.
I taught these robots how to.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've had people try to tell me, "Hey, can we pay you X amount of dollars to come in and teach us how to do lighting so that we can set up our own lighting?" And I'm basically teaching myself out of a job.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's tough because I'm like, I need that money, but then
Right.
And so you have to think about where do people want real photographers, and where will they always? And that's probably going to be interactions. Like a robot can't say take a deep breath.
He got you.
Dance puppets, dance.
And he's good with that, man. Like I've done shoots with him, and he'll capture you and just be like, okay, now turn 3, 2, 1, turn, and then you turn and it's like bow. You just they can't do that.
And that's what you were saying about apprenticing and stuff like that's the stuff you can't learn in school or whatever, And I got tricks from other people, and then I get my own stuff and whatever. Anyway, sorry.
10 years from now, those robots gonna have audio tracks.
I know, right? I know, for real. It'll be Austin Power Robots. But
what you say, Jeremiah?
I was gonna say also the importance of having a person's sometimes you're shooting in studio and you make the call and say, you know what, this studio light isn't working. Let's break it down, go outside and shoot, and do it that way, and then come back inside. A robot can't do that.
Right.
Discernment.
Yeah.
And now, so has it been slow for you as well, or with business, or?
Yeah, it's been slow. Right now, I'm really just photo assistant. I'm just putting myself into other people's hands and working on their teams and trying to get to know the industry. I was gonna piggyback on something you said, but I really don't remember.
I run my mouth a little bit.
Goddamn robots, man.
Yeah. So